Right, I've got 2 bags of assorted garbage to show you, which essentially all of you have to bear in mind all of them cost me 50p each.
Yeah, I'm gonna argue with that.
Basically, so there's some reasonable games in there, and there's some shockingly bad games I was curious about.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah, basically. So, right, Power Rangers Dino Thunder,
God.
which kind of looks pretty crappy. It's just Power Rangers and Zords and.
If he has Crazy Frog in there, I'm gonna be.
No. I'm
it
saving that for your Christmas present.
Is it not the deleted scene of Scorpion versus the White Ranger?
Yeah, that's awesome, by the way. Bat in the Sun.
Bat in the Sun. Go check them out. Brilliant. Brilliant films, anyway.
Yes.
Mini films.
Right. Brave, The Search for Spirit Dancer. Just a kind of a little sort of adventure-y, platformy, sort of stereotypical sort of thing. Looks half decent. That's the only disc that I think's not going to work. I was playing it and it basically locked up. It's got like a big laser burn on it, so everything else is fine. Everything else is fine, but that, I'm going to try and clean. There's a couple of scratches. I'm going to try and clean it and see if it'll run. But I think it's just the laser burn that's killed it, right on the outside. So. But it looks actually it's annoying because out of all of them, that's probably the one that I thought looked the best.
Yeah.
So, and typical Sod's Law, it didn't work.
Yeah.
So, Siphon Filter, the Omega Strain, one of the 2 Siphon
I have
Filter
one of
games
them
on
without a car.
PS2. Really just. But yeah,
And 50p is not
50p, yeah.
It'd be harder how there's been a Siphon Filter game and everything but the PS3.
Yeah, I pointed
What
that out in
happened?
the
Did you
video.
not want to make that anymore?
It's really strange.
I'm just looking at the sticker there across the part of that. I just thought it was something obtrusive that he had.
He's like wearing a pair of white fronts.
That's what I
or
thought,
something.
actually.
It's like,
I thought he was going for the Superman look with
tiny
the
white
pants.
tees, you know? It does actually look quite convincing.
Yeah.
With a pair of white fronts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Hard Rock Casino, which is just basically a bunch of.
I quite enjoy little games like that.
That's quite funky. 50p. I mean, it's got like a generic rock soundtrack.
You can always turn that down.
Yeah.
How much should we get is it Jinko games over here?
Pachinko slots
I'd love
and
to get
stuff,
them games over here.
Yeah. It's like you've got you've got poker, blackjack, slot machines. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, hopefully, due to the magic of technology, you'll be seeing all the crap that I actually played earlier, and just to show you what's on there.
That's a good 10-minute game if you've got 10 minutes to spare.
Exactly. I love blackjack anyway. Blackjack or even poker. It's got poker in
That's
there.
Richard's Black Ops 2 on the
And everything
PlayStation.
else. It's got poker in there and everything else.
It's been ages since I've put that on my machine.
Yeah.
Naruto, it's a Naruto fighting game on the PlayStation 2, Again, 50p. It's the first of the Ultimate Ninja games.
Have you noticed that the box art between that and Yakuza are all pretty much the same kind of... Must be the same artist, I reckon.
It's just a anime style, isn't it, with all that stuff. It's
Got one guy constantly.
There's only one guy doing the whole...
It's
You want to see your family again? You'll finish.
No, I paint. Right.
oh my god.
A garbage cashing game.
He wants to play this straight away. I can see his
Basically,
face.
it's Guitar Hero.
Yeah, that's...
But the thing is,
Hang on. Look at the camera. Resemblance.
66%. You've got the thing of you've got the music side of it and stuff, but you know how a lot of these games, when you press the button, you get some form of musical note or something. You get some with some of them, and you get nothing on this. It's just pressing the button, and it keeps going. If you do too bad, it stops. There's very little in the way of presentation or anything. It's just Alvin and the Chipmunks on stage, so it's a bit of a cash in with
I mean, it's generally aimed at the kind of
kids. I mean,
kids,
if you've got kids that like that sort of thing, or a simple-minded girlfriend or something,
or a friend who actually likes and stuff like that.
Yes.
Simple
Don't
games.
you start.
Pitfall: The Lost Expedition, just typical 3D PS2 era platforming game thing.
That was quite enjoyable actually.
It actually looks reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, 50p,
I mean, it's one of these days, you're sitting there going, I really want to try something different. Take it off the shelf, put it on.
It looks what I would
enjoy
call
it.
perfectly reasonable. So it's not quite on the level of good, but it's perfectly reasonable. Besides, it's got Pitfall and Pitfall 2 in there as well. The old, like,
The
Atari
Atari
ones. Yeah.
Oh, that's
so,
worth it then, isn't it?
Army Men Air Attack Blades Revenge. It's like a crappy Desert Strike with
It done.
Army Men.
Loads of on the old PlayStation, didn't they? The
Loads
Army
of Army Men.
Yeah.
This actually, a lot of those were just the most awful
Mm.
thing ever. That's not bad. That's actually reasonable-ish.
Some people
Men. You
actually
should
thought that was
you
a
play it for the Switch.
I have played it already. It's,
Some people think that's a time with Toy Story because of Sergeant
Yeah,
Army Men
yeah,
for Toy
yeah,
Story.
yeah.
What a mistake that was.
Yeah, yeah. The early ones were so bad. I mean,
Mm.
the early ones were like some of the worst games on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
They were awful. This I kind of enjoyed in a cheesy kind of way, so
Yeah,
not
cheese.
that bad. It's cheesy, it's 50p,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Once again, it's. Yeah, if the kids pick it up and they start playing it, they might actually enjoy it. You know,
Exactly,
it's-
exactly. It's just fun. You just
Yeah.
fly around the helicopter, shoot missiles and guns and blow stuff up.
Yeah.
It's like Desert Strike without any thinking or like anything else. Zoo Cube, very simplistic, weird puzzle game. You kind of have to link stuff together. I couldn't work it out completely when I was playing. I only played for like 2 minutes or something.
Oh, it's a Midas game.
But yeah, it's like a mobile phony style puzzle game really. Not overly interesting, but 50p. Yeah,
How's your father? I'm having that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Centre court hard hitter. Go and buy Virtua Tennis or Top Spin, please.
I know nothing about most of this stuff.
Yeah, that's why I thought I got a show.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other stuff that I thought I'd just show you.
He bought them for the sake of everybody
There's
else.
about 60 other games. I buy Spider-Man 2 and like Harry Potter. Everyone knows what they are.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I just try to show off the weirder ones. It's basically I say go for Top Spin, go for Virtua Tennis. Don't
I've
go.
got a
with
game
it.
called Breakpoint Tennis on the PS2,
Yeah.
and that's awful as well.
Yeah. Just don't bother. I mean, even for 50p, put an extra 50p or £1 towards it and buy Virtua Tennis. You know.
Mm.
Honestly. Barnyard. Now this intrigues me because it involves a male cow
Played this.
running around squirting milk from its
There's
teeth
others.
at basically all the enemies.
I guess you haven't seen the film of this.
No, thank God.
This is one of the first things that my son said to me when he first said, why has that cow got teats now? And trying to explain that one was the film is okay.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's another film
Yeah.
tie-in.
This actually looks like just like a reasonable 3D platform.
Do
It
you know
doesn't
the scary
look
thing
bad.
is? I've played that
Yeah.
and I did enjoy it.
Yeah, it
So
looks
it's-
reasonable, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
perfectly reasonable. I mean, for 50p, it's a
Yeah,
good one for the collection.
exactly,
you know.
yeah.
That isn't actually bad. Victorious Boxers, Japanese boxing game. Kind of an early one, I think. It doesn't really play that well. The controls, it was really easy to kind of point the wrong direction and just punch in the air. It didn't feel very natural
Yeah.
or anything. But it was 50p. I was just nosy and
Yeah.
just had a look. So go on the
Sort of
shelf.
playthrough when you
Yeah, it'll go on the shelf.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I've got like Punch Out to play, and Punch Out is simplistically fantastic. That's another one for your list, by the way, for your Wii stuff. Punch Out's fantastic.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, definitely.
Yeah, Punch Out is fantastic. The Red Star, brilliant, really good.
Yeah, awesome game. I played it on the Xbox. It was one of the many games that got cancelled, but then
Yeah,
they got bought
yeah,
back. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if it was ever officially released for the Xbox, but I managed to get it off a certain site. Brilliant game, fantastic game. I know something about
Yeah,
one.
really enjoyable,
Yeah.
really enjoyable.
That's why I'm
game.
Not too difficult.
So
That-
it's like the best way of describing it. It's a combination of bullet hell shooter
yeah.
and beat 'em up.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the best way of
It's one that is. I wouldn't say it's difficult. You probably will die once or
It
twice
is
at each
challenging.
level.
It is
Yeah, you've
challenging.
got to know
When you
where
don't
you're
get a
going,
gist
what
of
you're
it
doing.
and stuff,
It's a big game.
it's kind of it's got a progressive thing to it.
That's all right.
It's actually say 50p.
Yeah.
You know.
You're not going to argue away.
We were
Really
waiting
good.
to see what gem he saved for last.
I've got another bag.
Oh, okay. What gem he hasn't saved for last?
Yeah.
Zoo Puzzle, which is actually a relatively decent puzzle game. It's essentially you kind of have like a little screen of things there. I can't really show you. You'll see them on
Yeah.
the bottom of the screen, and you just basically click one of those, and then you choose which way you want to swap it with, and you swap them around. And it's just very basic, very simple, almost like Super Pure-ish in a fashion, but nothing. The things you drop down.
It's
Yeah,
a
that's
girl's
right.
puzzle
You
game.
know. Yeah, it's a girls' puzzle game that they play on the mobile phone. Box of tap number 2. A bag of tap number 2.
That's actually, I'll quite go through some of the games and go, yeah, I'll play that.
Yeah. Arcade. Very poor
I
quality
paid
collection.
25p for that. From
Yeah, I
CEX.
paid 50. I feel rips off. It was basically, it's a very poor. I have played Amiga public domain versions of these games that were better. They are literally rip-offs of arcade games. I think there's Joust on there, rip-off.
There's a rip-off
There's
of
a rip-off
most
of
things.
Cuba. There's only 10 games though. There's a rip-off of Cuba and a rip-off of Asteroids in there.
Yeah, it's
I
a
haven't
peer
really-
game, isn't it?
Yeah, I
If you
haven't
think about
really
it.
played anything else, but and also there's a Battle Ball one there as well,
Oh, okay.
which doesn't have really good physics. I think there's Bomberman in there as well. But
All the games just remind me of those ones you used to get from like the markets in the corner.
yeah,
48 one games and one controller.
yeah.
You've been watching Ashens.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very much.
Ashins.
Yeah,
Yes, definitely.
Ashen's. Oh yes, there's. But yeah. Oh yeah, 50p. I'd probably say pick it up,
Yeah.
but
You said probably.
yeah, it is a probably.
If you're working out a 5p game, you
Gadget and the Gadgetinis. I love Inspector
Inspector
Gadget as a
Gadget.
kid. I love
Yeah.
Inspector Gadget as a kid.
You
Yeah.
didn't.
And
Yeah,
this
it's alright.
is essentially, I think it's based on one of the newer cartoons they put out on
Not
Fox
Gadget
Kids.
Gadget Kid was
No,
the
not
worst
that one.
thing
Not
ever.
that one. After that, they actually brought out another one.
Penny and Brains. There you go. Memories coming
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
They're basically, it's got a dreadful voiceover though, but the actual gameplay doesn't seem too bad. You wander around and hit things with your gadget arms and use your gadget copter.
The
and
question is,
umbrella
does it
and
have the
stuff.
theme song in it?
No.
Damn.
You just
No, we're playing. Yeah, that is.
I'll get you again, gadget.
Yeah.
I'll get you next.
That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't waste my childhood watching telly cartoons.
Alarm for Cobra 11. Now you know this series
It came out on the Xbox 360, didn't
as
it?
what?
Pile of piece of junk with world's worst acting in it. I can't think
Crash
of what
Time.
they put. Crash Time.
Crash
Oh, they
Time.
were awful.
Yeah, it's based
They
on
were
a German
awful.
TV series, and it is, let's put it this way, the first one is like no better than the. If anything, it's a lot worse, if anything.
Hi there, Richard.
Um,
We need to arrest that bad guy.
I've never read it, thank God.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
Trying to avoid
That's
that.
better acting
It
than
uses generic unlicensed cars.
Oh, okay.
And, well, recently isn't normally too bad, but they're all sort of very German looking as well. So.
Old BMW.
The last
Opals
Crash
and
Time was
stuff.
download only, which goes to say something.
Um,
I think it was like $12.99.
A Lego game that doesn't involve a license for a change. Lego Football Mania,
Oh, what?
Oh,
which is basically footy with very simplistic arcadey rules
Okay.
and Lego characters. So you've got like Lego Pirates versus, I don't know, like Lego
And it's a EA game.
Eskimos.
there's a problem with that one there because I've heard that it bricks your PS2. Sorry. Just leave me alone, it's late again.
Yeah, can I just clarify that he wouldn't mean that. It's a really bad joke.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the kind of game that I would actually.
Yeah,
Right,
if
yeah.
50p, it's like, you know.
That's pretty good.
Do you want to write every single one down so when you're out, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna look for 'em, yeah.
7 blades, a bit of water damage on the cover and stuff of that. Everything else, it's complete in that, but there's a little bit of water damage on the cover. It's kind of a hacky slashy game. It doesn't look overly great or anything.
Konami.
Could be better if the more you play it, but it doesn't look too bad. It's 50p. I will sit there and actually try and play it for a while. I just
Should
kind
be
of.
Richard's bag of 50p a game.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
It is him bloody going on about it doesn't pay much for games. It's like, you
I
know.
know.
How much did you pay for your bloody pile of crap compared to all this shit? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
all this shit.
Cross the telly.
Yeah, you know, all this shit costs less than that.
I bought a PS3 and I got a free tag.
Super Buster Move 2. It's Buster Move,
Yeah.
you know. It's
Fire Bubbles girlfriend. She's out of your hair. for a
Yeah.
long time.
I've
Basically.
never played a Buster Move game.
no,
No.
you never play it. You probably play a variation because
Problem is, if he starts playing it, it'll never stop.
yeah,
Oh.
it's addictive as hell.
Mm.
So it's
So it's
Yeah.
not a girly joke. It is that good.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
addictive as hell.
And it's a girly joke.
I mean, if you play Peggle, you'll love that. It's
I
really
mean,
good.
I went into Peggle because my son came in one day.
What
So
was it called on Sky? Beehive Bedlam.
Yeah, that's
Or
one.
something.
Behind
I've played that,
Behind
yeah.
Bedlam. Exactly the
Yeah.
same game.
Is
Exactly
it-
the same
is
game.
it- oh,
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
I
Yeah.
said exactly the
Until
same
you
game.
start charging for it.
Game, yeah. Oh, was it certain level, was it?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
you
to level
did.
3 and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
charge
get to a
you.
point and they charge you.
Yeah.
Whiplash, actually pretty good. Like, actually, you know,
Okay.
I actually put that on the good scale, not reasonable. That actually goes on to good You're basically a lab weasel thing, and
Comes
you
with a free
have
car accident.
yeah, you've basically got this like weasel, and he's got this like rabbit chained to him, and you kind of swing the rabbit around, and you smack people in the face with the rabbit.
Okay.
And the rabbit is all the time
What's the trouble
smart
with these
talking
people?
to you.
Awesome.
And you got to escape like the laboratory and stuff. I mean, you got like look, you've got various like helium bunny where you can fill in with gas and you can fly up in the air and like
Something the Beatles would have made back in the
yeah,
day.
you know, like, a hairsicle.
It's
where
like a
you
bad
can
acid
use-
trip, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
it's that sort of thing, you know.
Said the Vat Controller.
Do you know who is the American voice of Thomas the Tank Engine?
Oh, yeah, I do.
From 1991 till like whenever it was, 97.
Yeah,
or
did
something.
he die, didn't he?
George Carlin.
Yeah. Yeah.
George Carlin, the
Yeah.
man who said like the 7 things you can't say on TV, like all the massive swearing, was the voice of Thomas the
Yeah.
Tank
Yeah,
Engine.
I
you know.
knew it, but I just couldn't think of it. We was watching lots of his stuff the other night and
Ugh.
check him out.
Mm.
Great comedian.
Muppets Party Cruise. Basically a Mario Party.
He's getting happier all the time. Look at him.
Basically
He's
a
like a child at
Mario,
Christmas.
a Mario Party-esque game with Muppets.
You can't go wrong with Muppets.
Good
that's it.
presentation. The game seems reasonable. Lots of mini games and stuff. It all seems quite reasonable. 50p. I mean,
Mind you
yes.
saying you can't go wrong with Muppets, put Amy Adams in the Muppets and I'm in heaven. I'll be a Muppet any day for that.
Oh, dear.
Amy Adams?
Muppet.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
talking about
I
that.
do, yes.
Um,
I've seen the Muppets movie.
Space Invaders Invasion Day.
Got that.
Yeah, I quite
It's
like that.
kind of, it plays like Space Invaders, but it's nothing like
Like a
Space
person holding a
Invaders.
gun that shoots upwards.
In alleys, in alleys where aliens come in. I actually like it. I'm not going to say it's bad. It goes on the. It goes reasonable forward / good.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
is actually, you know, as long as you're not. Well, I've seen
It's a
that.
4.5.
I have
sort
seen
of-
that for about £7 or £8 in various times, and no way.
Yeah.
But for 50p to £2,
I think I've got that one from
You know,
CEX. So
yeah.
I've got that in my collection as well.
Yeah. I don't remember you picking it up.
Mm.
Because the thing is, it doesn't actually show really much of anything on the back. You've got a
It
couple
doesn't
of
show you the
pictures.
game at all.
Yeah, you've got a couple of pictures.
That's worrying.
But,
That
but no, that's
worries
actually
me.
decent.
It's worth it, as I say.
One thing that shouldn't show you pictures of the game is seeing the Warrior Princess, because that is garbage.
Lucy Lawless in Spartacus Blood and Sand. No, that isn't garbage.
Yeah, yeah, but.
So we did enjoy this one, did we? I would
No.
imagine.
I mean, honest to God, it looks like a PS1 game.
And there better be footage, you better be playing it.
Yes, I played it. I played it for a grand total of about 2 minutes, so the footage is probably going to run out about now. But yeah,
Let's play
That
some
is
more,
I want to
really
loop
bad.
it.
Yeah.
Really bad voiceovers, bad everything.
But Lucy Lawless, is it?
Curry Curry Mix, which is like a very strange. You see what I mean now, don't you? Show Richard.
Is that some sort of pop game? Pa!
Yeah, now you
Okay.
see what I mean. You know, and all the
Yeah.
people watching there, all 3 of you, will see the yeah. You know, it's,
Yeah, I'd leave that one alone.
Richard, stop watching again. It won't get your views up any higher.
I'll put it on a loop.
Curry Curry Mix, which looks like a puzzle game, doesn't it? From the cover and stuff, even when you look at the back, but it's not. It's like it's supposed to be played cooperatively, and it's kind of like you kind of like race
Yeah.
along, and one person on one, but it's not a race because one person on one side has to help you with stuff on the other side, and it's just a cooperative game.
Mm.
But you can also play it by yourself like brothers, which is really damn confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, job. It's even harder than brothers.
Stay
to
calm,
do
you don't
that.
have to highlight brothers.
Love Brothers. That,
Okay,
Yeah.
just keep that to yourself.
No,
He
no,
hasn't
okay.
got any, so if you want a brother, was it that program of the little brothers where they,
Oh,
there's a
dear.
Simpsons
The
episode?
Simpsons
Yeah,
yeah.
Papa Homer, you are so learned. It's learn, son, learn. Warriors of Might and Magic. Very early
Card
sort
game,
of
isn't it?
RPG sort of 3D adventure. It's a little bit like
Does that say 3DO on the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay.
it does indeed. The 3DO Company, which is basically what become was it Eidos? Eidos swallowed them up.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, Eidos swallowed them up. Or the other way
I
around.
can't-
Um,
Can't see like card games on consoles just can't do.
Mm.
They just don't see the point. In
That's not that card game. It's a free adventure.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I
Yeah.
mean, it's worries you're talking about card games and stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh! And
Oh yeah,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of
I know,
people
I know
say
what you're thinking. What you're thinking of is Magic the Gathering.
Yes,
That's what you're
yeah.
probably thinking of it. So.
yeah, I just can't be
All
doing.
I'm thinking of is, holy shit, this editing's going to take me forever.
Yeah, we're giving you some work, boy. It's
You keep moaning, you want to do stuff.
Shadow Man. Okay, we've got to do this whilst looking at Cliff so he doesn't grin. Shadow Man: The Second Coming.
10 minutes break.
Yeah. Shadow Man on the Dreamcast. Good game. This reasonable. Dated.
Yeah, I picked
Yeah.
up at Boot Fair as well.
Definitely
Was that-
dated. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely dated now. But if you ever sort of played like one and never played two.
No, I have a crap fact. Shadow Man on the Dreamcast originally, the first 500 copies came with a map, but only the first 500 copies, the rest didn't. Crap fact of the day.
Would that help with the game at all, the map? I suppose it
I
did.
have no idea.
You've not found a copy with the map.
God,
You know,
sorry.
I've got it.
A last game, a dodgy remake cash-in thing, Defender on the PS2.
Yeah, I bought the American version of that one. I
Yeah,
bought my
you did
American
do, which has
version.
a nicer case than this. It's
Yeah.
a nice case.
I have no idea what I've done with it.
But it looks okay. It's kind of on the sort of lower end of reasonable, or mid level of reasonable. I would actually quite happily probably spend an hour playing it. It has a similar principle. It's basically Defender in 3D. You sort of fly around, you pick up little people, you deposit them at the base, and you shoot aliens. It's just basically.
How can you go wrong with
Defender
that?
in 3D.
It's just literally Defender in 3D. One very annoying thing, as far as I know, they don't actually have the original two games on there. I've got the original two games in about 3 or 4 different packs
Yeah,
anyway.
I've got them on
but,
the is it Midway pack
Yeah,
on the
yeah, it's on loads of them.
360?
It's on loads of them. Yeah, it's but
I never gave Defender at any time until that Midway pack come out.
Yeah,
and I've
Defender's
really fell into it.
fantastic. But that's the last one of the
Yeah.
50p pickup.
Ah!
He's got to do it now.
Yeah.
I hate him.